Hi, my name is Brianna and you're watching Plushy Babe Crochet. It is really sunny today and I did have a tent up, but my tent literally flipped over and yeah. So today was intense. Today I had a market, the school market near my home, and it was a very short market. It was 11 to 4. I paid $35 to be there, and I think I had a pretty good setup. I didn't put out all of my medium plushies and my like regular standard size. I really need to show you guys like what I mean when I say small, medium, and like regular, because I do not make big plushies to sell anymore. I end up gifting them to my family, which is nice. It's just they also did not know that they were going to get that for a gift. So yes, and I made the bulk of my sales before the market and an hour and a half into the market. I did make 10 times my booth fee. I did sell like a variety of items, and it was nice because it wasn't just minis. I did sell, off the top of my head, my first sale was 2 Hello Kitties that came out to $30 because I sell the small ones for $15 each because I hate making them, and people don't care that they're $15 and they're this big, like the size of a $5 item. They don't care. And then I sold a turtle and a dino, and that was a $15 sale because the turtles in Bernat with a 6.5 millimeter hook still come out pretty small, so I didn't want to sell those for 10. I didn't think it was fair. Then I sold a couple whales, and those were $5 each. I then sold to the same girl that bought the Hello Kitties. She wanted a lamb, so she got the lamb. And then that same lady came back with her 2 children, and they bought a pig lovey, and then a what else? And then a dragon, a $15 dragon, the little minis. So that was that. My vendor neighbors came over and they bought Pikachu and a Hello Kitty, and then they're like in that same group, a Oak and Marlowe bunny. So I need to clarify that the market was from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And I was just giving the rundown of what people bought. And then another vendor kid came up and bought an octo and a snake. My snakes are 15, but he is a vendor kid and he was purchasing with his own money. So I was like, it's okay, I'll give him 2 for 20 for you. Like, don't worry. And he was like, for real? So, you know, it's for the kids. I love the kids. He literally pulled out his little wallet and his little shirt said his name. And he was like, oh yeah, it's because I'm working. And I was like, okay, sir. Okay. So I had to do that. And then I don't remember the rest. I like to crochet while I am doing markets because it's probably like the only me time that I get where I'm not around other, like my own kids that are like, mom, 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 or like my husband, or just like in general people that need me. So then while I was there, I did like a lot of talking to people, which was nice. And I met Sweet Beans Crochet, Busy Beans Crochet, which when she walked up, I was like, oh my God, I watch you on the internet. And she was like, hi. I was like, oh my gosh, do you live near here? And she was like, no, I don't live here. And she was like, I'm here vending. And I was like, oh my gosh, they didn't announce the vendor. So I didn't know what other vendors were going to be there. And it was just so nice to meet with her and like chit chat and stuff. And she had like a huge market yesterday. She was like, I don't have a lot of stuff. And I was like, honestly, I shouldn't even be here either because I have a street fair next weekend. And she was like, we're just going to have fun. And I was like, we're just going to have fun. So then, the reason why I say this was a crazy market, not because of sales, but because my tent literally blew over and broke. My tent blew over, broke. I didn't have a tent for an hour. My husband did come by, and an hour before we ended the market, he put up another canopy for me. But it was hilarious in the fact that my freaking canopy blew over. Yes, I had sandbags and I had a cinder block on one of them. So then my husband came back and they tied cinder blocks to like the top for it to have like some more weight. It was just so windy. And I mean, I had fun. It was funny. People came to help me, and I personally think it was a success. I will be making another video on what I'm taking to the street fair. I cannot take any characters to the street fair. So no Demogorgons, no Pokemon, no Hello Kitties. And I'm gonna see if I can get away with my Winnie the Pooh because it just looks like a bear with a shirt. So, and I didn't make the donkey a like gray, it's purple. And then like I didn't make like the tiger that I made, it's like a generic tiger. It's not an actual like tiger. So we'll see if we can get away with that. And yeah, I want to make some more Della ducks, some cows, and I want to make like some sea creatures that I had last year. Like I'd like to make a blobfish, I'd like to make a sea slug, and I'd like to make a lanternfish. You know, the fish that has the hook, because those all sold for me at that market last year. And because I am going to be with another crocheter who has very similar things to me, not similar things to me, but like the heavy hitters, like the Loveys and the Elgin Marlows, I just want to have things that will make me kind of stand apart and be a little different, because people go because they want variety, not because they want to see the same things, you know? So try to spice up my life. We'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And to my sisters watching, love you. Bye.